As we saw in the first verse, Adi Śaṅkaracharya offers his prayer to the God, to the Ishvara. And that too, the Ishvara, none other than Nimitta Upadana Karanam of all lokas, both efficient and material cause of entire universe. And moreover, that Ishvara also presented as Ishtadevata. Why? Because Ishtadevata will take care of my problem. That's why Hari, Harati Papaniti, who will remove my bad prarabdha, or who removes bad prarabdha. And finally, also that Ishvara is again none other than my first teacher, or the teacher who is none other than the Ishvara. So both the meanings we have seen in the first verse. Then in the second verse says beautifully, as we said, second verse we say Grantha Kartuh Pratigya. So I'll try my best to introduce new technical terminology so that you will have more interest. So the author gives a promise why you should study this text, because he has to justify. Generally, technically what we do is, whenever we look at any text, we have called Anubandha Chatusthaya. So these are the words you have to, okay. We'll see Sadhana Chatusthayam, you know, in Tattvabodha we have seen. That is called Anubandha Chatusthayam, the relationship. There are fourfold relationship. So what is this Anubandham? So we say first is Adhikari. Adhikari means the one who is qualified. As you know, for anything, you need Adhikaram. Especially in houses in India. So recently this plus 2 exam was over. So which university the child will get in? It's a big fight. More than children, parents and relatives, they go crazy. So running to this university, that university, you cannot think of, especially in so-called educated parents, okay? They go more crazy. If you are uneducated, absolutely no problem. If you are fully educated also, absolutely no problem, because as you are stupid, your child will be stupid, okay? But those who are half educated, they go crazy, okay? However, so this adhikaritvam there, okay? If I want to study computer science, but I didn't have physics in plus 2, can I get into computer science? It's not allowed. If I want to study medical science, but I did not take biology, can I? So that means we need certain qualifications to do anything, or in the case of study matter. So here we'll be seeing there are different types of adhikaris. We say Uttama adhikari, we say Madhyama adhikari, we say, lower adhikari. So Uttama, Madhyama, Adhama iti, okay? So that means the topmost, middle one, and of course don't ask, third one, last one. And how do you classify these adhikaris? So we say the adhikaritvam, the status of being a adhikari, is being classified mainly based on 3 aspects. One is the concentration of a student. Ekagrata. How long the person is able to concentrate. That's why, thank God, we take only 30 minutes class, okay? Imagine if I take 1 hour, 2 hours class, what will happen? Swamiji, can you stop? Enough. We have a lot of other priorities, okay? You don't understand anything. However, first is ekagrata. Second is called purity of mind. And based on the purity of the mind, third one we called as distraction-free mind. Means the person is not agitated. The person does not allow the mind to wander. Based on these three, so that means we say restlessness of the mind, vikshepa, purity of the mind, chitta-suddhi, and one-pointedness of mind is called chitta ekagrata. So keeping these three in mind, we classify the students. Okay? So whether you are topmost or in between or the bottom one, okay? And of course there are sub-sections, okay? Let me not get into, okay? That will be too much. So that is what we'll see in this verse itself. All these things are being talked. Second one is called vīkṣaṇīyā. Anubandha chatushtaya, first in adhikari, second one comes vīkṣaṇīyā. So vīkṣa means what is the subject matter. For example, if I want to study engineering, so the subject matter should be engineering. Not, I want to be an engineer, but I study microbiology. So what is the combination? This is what most of people do it, okay? So they want to become something, but they study some other thing. And the worst part is, because I did not get a seat, let me enter into the university. That's another way, okay? You cannot think of what combination nowadays. However, the vīkṣaṇīyā, that the subject matter that we take up, so it must have, relationship with my prayatnena, what I want. So we'll see this relationship later on. So here, technically, I don't want to get in too much, but here, what is subject matter? The subject matter here is, come on, Aparokṣānubhūti. The text itself. So what does the aparokṣānubhūti mean? The direct knowledge of Brahman. Okay, that's the translation. We have seen many times. Don't ask me further. Now, when the subject matter is this, that means the subject matter, the direct knowledge of Brahman, what does it communicate? It communicates the Jiva and Brahma are one and same. The identity between Jiva and Brahma, me and the totality are one and same. So this becomes vīkṣaṇīyā. Then of course we'll see what is the relationship vīkṣaṇīyā and prayojanam, that which later on. Then third one is called prayojanam, most important thing. They say very nicely, prayojanam anudisya mandopina pravartate. Even if a dull fellow, the one who never moves an inch, without any purpose will not move. So anything you do, first you put your agenda. The problem is only when you put agenda, you become boring. Okay? You become a burden for others. You can have your agenda, nothing wrong in it, okay? So you need to have your legitimate agenda. Also you have to respect others' agenda. No. Only my agenda in the forefront, okay? Only me. Do you know who is this me? It says, we have this goat says, me, especially when it's going to be destroyed. So whenever you see me, remember goat, okay? So you are not bigger than or greater than a goat. However, so prayojana is there. So agenda has to be there, nothing wrong in it. The purpose should be there, but purpose must be clear. So the problem with all of us, see, I look at myself when we were studying in so-called universities. What was the purpose? We had purposeless purpose. I'm not telling you jokes, this is the truth. I personally, I can be honest. So I had a purposeless purpose. Somehow get a certificate. That's all. However, when you look at here, so why should I study this Vedanta, this Brahmanubhuti, Aparokṣānubhūti, Brahmanubhuti jope, Aparokṣānubhūti. Why should I study? What is my purpose? So here purpose is nothing but to overcome all my sorrows, all my conflict, all my afflictions. Now, if you are not sure and aware of your conflict, if you are not really tired of your sorrow, will you study Vedanta? That's why you attend 1 or 2 classes. When your priority comes, something happens. Swamiji, I will not be able to in the class. You understand the concept? So why there is no regularity in the class? Because of this. Because you yourself have not understood what exactly you want. That's why people join the class based on their way. So as long as they get something from Swamiji, Swamiji, you are great. When they don't get anything or there is no hope to get, Swamiji, you are stupid. Of course I am stupid. That's why I am a Swami, okay? That's why, in fact, when somebody says, Swamiji, oh, you are so nice, you are so great, I thank you very much. So you are not saying to me, you are nice, I am nice. You are acknowledging your thinking is matching with me. When you say that, Swamiji, you are stupid, yes, I also acknowledge that your thinking does not match with my thinking. Very simple. However, coming to the point here that my main prayojana, only prayojana means this is my purpose is what? Dukkha nibruti. So dukkha nibruti means removing the sorrow, that too the internal sorrow. But if I am happy and contented, or I would rather say I am habituated with my problem, will I come for Vedanta? Definitely not. I will come for solace to a teacher. Please understand, it's a very sensible point. Coming for solace to a teacher and seeking solution from a teacher. If I am really interested to resolve my dukkham, my sorrow, then I will come to the teacher for teaching. So there comes Shraddha. Whereas I don't want to resolve sorrow, but I want to have some solace. Now, I will approach a teacher for some advice so that I will have a relief. And of course, then finally comes sambandha. So sambandha has got different level. Sambandha means the relationship. And relationship has got different layers. That means the subject matter that I study, Vishaya, and Prayojana. So what is my purpose? There should be a relationship. Like as I said, I want to be a microbiologist, but I study physics. It will not work. So I have to study microbiology. There should be a relationship. And also there should be a relationship between what? the adhikari and the vishaya. Or else it will not work. Also there should be relationship between, please understand, the subject matter that we study and also the prayojanam that we discussed. So in short, if the relationship does not go well, if there is some mismatch, definitely things are not going to work. This anubandha chatushtaya will not work. With this background, let us look at this verse. This verse talks everything in details. So what he says, first let us look at Aparokṣānubhūti. Aparokṣānubhūti means the knowledge of aparokṣa Brahman. Means the knowledge of Brahman, and the knowledge happens to be aparokṣa, means not pratyakṣa. You cannot have direct knowledge. Why you cannot? Because for pratyakṣa jnanam, you need what? You need sense organs. And that too, that should be only reveal limited field that we have discussed in details. Also, this jnanam cannot come in a parokṣa way. Parokṣa means indirect. So you can close your eyes and you can understand, visualize Brahman, okay? You can smell Brahman, okay? Like a sniffer dog, okay? Swamiji, I could smell, okay? And of course, I hear Brahman, that ooh sound comes, okay? Hey, better go to a, ENT specialist, okay? There are many people come. Swamiji, nowadays I am hearing all these sort of sounds. So which level I am? And when I close my eyes, I see blue light, red light, yellow light. I said, I see all the light, don't worry, okay? And this sort of people, I say, very good, please continue. And if you have some other experience, new experience, please come back to me so that I will be happy to know. Personally, because Swamiji, only understand me. I said, okay, I am also happy from you, okay? That moment. However, coming to the point, because there are different type of people, you have to allow them, okay? That's a na buddhi bhedam janayet. This is the statement by, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Na buddhi bhedam janayet. If someone is comfortable the way the person is, why to wake him or her up? Let the person be there. So that one problem less for you, you understand. This is the statement by Lord Krishna. And once you wake up, you have to take the responsibility. Remember this. So better don't wake up a person, okay? However, coming back to the point, here it says, Aparokṣānubhūti. This means this is the subject. And of course, when it says subject, for what is the purpose? He says, look, by indeed, procyate is talked in details by this teaching tradition. Asmabhihi, or by the teachers, that this Brahma Anubhuti, there we stopped, we stretched, that means the jnanam of Brahman, which is aparokṣa, nor indriya pratyakṣa, not parokṣa, but saksi pratyakṣa. So that means it is witnessed by the witnesser, because I am the person, subject. That's why we call direct knowledge. Now this knowledge, being vishaya, being the subject matter, now what is the purpose? Purpose is here, mokṣa siddhaye. So in order to accomplish liberation. So what is liberation? A liberation is not liberating yourself from your wife or from your husband or from your family, okay? It's not, okay? It's not like that, okay? Because Tamil people will enjoy that, liberating from one's own samsara is called, mokṣa. So the Tamil people enjoy because, samsara means wife, okay? It's not like that. Hey, don't worry, wherever you go, there will be, worst wife, okay? Anyway, let us not get into too much. So here it says that mokṣa siddhaye. So, in order to accomplish, or you can say for the accomplishment of liberation from samsara. What is samsara? Samsara is nothing but the sense of becoming. As long as the sense of becoming is predominant in me, that long I am a samsari. So this sense of becoming, I want to become, I want to do this so that I will become this. So that person definitely suffers. So that's why he says, making yourself or freeing yourself, not from this so-called samsara, so-called surroundings, but making yourself free from sense of becoming. And that being the purpose, that's why Brahma Anubhuti or Aparokṣānubhūti becomes the subject matter. Because subject says what? Hey, you don't have to become, in fact, you be. That being yourself is the best thing in life. That's why the understanding is being given more importance. And of course, he says, okay, fine, who is adhikari? Adhikari, he says, sadbhi. So sadbhi means that the one who is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari ityartha. So that person is called sadbhi here, the seeker of the truth. They say good people, great people. They are none other than sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari. So what is sadhana chatushtaya? This is tattvabodha, okay? That you know. Viveka, vairagya, shramadamadi shatka sampatti and mumukshutvam. We'll be seeing, okay, next verse onwards. Don't worry. He helps you, okay, in this regard. So that means that person is sadbhi, that person is adhikari, a qualified person. So these are the qualifications we'll be seeing in details. Suppose, okay, how this qualification will continue. Because if you observe any time, somehow you get qualification. But if the qualification does not continue properly, it's like, already you are somebody, adhikari. It's like, if there is no that sambandham, a relationship, if you do not continue, will you be qualified? You will go down. That is how all this relationship gets destroyed. Because nobody wants to put effort to uplift one's own self. But everybody wants to stay together in a relationship. So either you drown or you suffer. Drowning means getting destroyed, okay? Either you get destroyed or you suffer. There is no third method. Unless you uplift yourself. That's why any relationship, everybody complains, Swamiji, after marriage, life is very painful, only crying, suffering. Of course, you will not suffer, then who else will suffer? Because there is no effort. We'll be seeing in the next verse, okay? All these things are talked in details. However, so here he says that when this sadbhi has to put prayatnena. So prayatnena, with effort. Then only this will be maintained. How this prayatna will come? He says, look, muhurmuhuḥ. So muhurmuhuḥ means, literal translation, again and again. But how do you do again and again? How do you put this effort again and again? That's why I had put in the translation, when or whatever becomes your priority, top priority, not first priority, top priority rather, whatever becomes top priority, that you do again and again. Just look at Many people say, oh, Swamiji, this class, this time, that time, this time, I have some other work. That means you don't make this teaching as your priority. Imagine, if your any relationship is a priority, what you will do? Will you do that again and again or not? Like many parents, they do for them, because they could not live their life, so they want to live their life for children, okay? So starting, dropping the child in the school, then later on in university, then getting him married or her married, okay, married, then also taking care of the grandchild or children and whatnot, okay? Just imagine. If the child becomes priority in your life, now related to the child, anything and everything, will you do again and again or not? It's simple logic. So that means that thing you do again and again, happily, conveniently, very comfortably, when that becomes top priority. So that means fixing my priority, this Sravana Manana Niti Dhyasanam, and that only will be possible when I understand why I am suffering and what is the solution of my suffering. Until and unless I am clear and sure, definitely this pratyakṣa, prayatnena will not happen. Once in a while I do. Whenever I fall down, I need some help. Once in a while, let me attend the class. If some other thing comes, sorry, we'll see after some time. You understand? Swamiji, sometimes you talk so many Sanskrit words, I don't understand. Imagine in your house, you do many things, you don't understand. Still you do or not? Especially with your child. What child does, you don't know anything, okay? Still, you do everything or not for the child? If you can do this much, why can't you? Even if nothing enters, try to listen to it. Hey, I'm not imposing, okay? Just I'm talking in keeping with the text. However, says this muhurmuhuḥ, most important thing to learn. That's why I said, then after that says vīkṣaṇīyā. So this is to be contemplated upon. This, what is to be contemplated upon? The direct knowledge of Brahman. So how to be contemplated upon? For that you need Shravanam and Mananam. Without Shravanam and Mananam, without listening to a teacher, that too in a systematic manner, and then comes Shraddha. First Shraddha, again Shraddha, because Shraddha is integral part of teaching. Because if there is no Shraddha, you will listen to the class the way you want. You can take notes. You can do everything. For what? Whatever is convenient for you. Not what is the purpose of the teaching. That's why what we do, generally when we were taught in the beginning, after the class, one is supposed to write summary. To understand the student mind, how the student grasps, number one. And after one month, whether the student's thinking is changing or not. If the student's thinking is not changing, to be very honest, that student is not fit for Vedanta. That student must be given some work. Should be a karma yogi. Still I have my doubt, okay? Whether that fellow will be karma yogi or not, okay? But still, but it's better, at least will not create more damage. There's very clear situations. However, we cannot do it here. Because the teaching, the thinking of the student must align with the thinking of the teacher and teaching tradition. That's why first is Sravanam. Then comes Mananam. What is Mananam? Mananam means, we say, where we recall back the teaching, dwelling upon the teaching. Generally, when you are listening to me, it's perfect. Somebody say, I understand everything. But Swamiji, you don't understand our day-to-day life. Everything goes all the way around. Why? Because you have your habitual thinking, each one of you. And habitual thinking is backed up by your habitual logic. And all habitual logic is related to your insecurity. See this point. Your habitual thinking is always supported by your habitual logic. And what are the habitual logic? Habitual logic again is supported by your insecurity, not only insecurity, habitual insecurity. It's amazing, okay? If it is insecurity, no problem. It is your habitual insecurity. So that means when your habitual thinking pops up with your habitual logic, that time you give Shraddha, or because of Shraddha, the teaching logic takes over. That's why all this technical teaching we do. Not that Atman, Brahman, understanding yourself, you can realize yourself, self-realization. This is called, I'm sorry to say, this is called nuisance teaching, okay? Called Neo-Vedanta. So you need all logical analysis, Shastra-based logic, teaching-based logic. When you have Shraddha for the teacher, with the help of Shraddha, now you give importance to the logic of the teaching, not your habitual logic. Because when you give importance to the habitual logic, do you know what you do? You try to manipulate the situation. You try to confuse the situation. And you try to prolong. That's why we make it very clear. If there is no Shraddha, don't waste your time and my time. This is the teaching. If there is no Shraddha, with reference to teaching, students should not waste time, and also the teacher should not waste time. It doesn't work. Because the mananam will not be complete. And if mananam is not complete, that means what? Your habitual thinking takes over. And the right time or wrong time, only your habitual logic takes over. Then you are back to the square. Yes or no? Earlier you were an ordinary person, now you are the most complete crooked person because you have Vedanta. You understand? You have all tools at your disposal. That's why if a person, the person starts talking Vedanta and not taking care of many other aspects, it's very dangerous. So I have already taken more time today, sorry. That's why because my timing reminds me, can you see? That's why I was looking at some other thing. This fellow reminds me. What this AI, yeah? However, say that here my thinking or my habitual logic becomes secondary, or I make it secondary rather. I don't give importance, but I always give complete Shraddha, benefit of doubt to the logic of teaching, even if it is not able to understand. I am not able to understand head or tail out of it. Then what happens? Slowly I discover the that this is working. And that slowly makes you to contemplate upon the teaching. Or else what will happen? There will be constant fight. And when this constant fight happens, then the life becomes dichotomy. So with reference to teaching, I am so-so. Without teaching, I am also so-so. You get my point? So that's why he says, vīkṣaṇīyā. That means this teaching should be contemplated upon. So after this thing, of course, the next verse is going to talk that from 3rd verse onwards to verse number 11, we'll be talking about that vairagya, viveka, samadhi, satka sampati, and mumukshitva. And interestingly, this text unusually starts with vairagyam, not with viveka, not with discrimination, but from dispassion. So why it starts from dispassion, we'll see tomorrow. Om Punnamada Punnamidam Punnat Punnamudachyate Punnasya Punnamadaya Punnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.